Joystick Tuggers.
Alright everybody, this is going to be, guess what I call Joystick Tuggers episode 23.5 video podcast test with Christian Sorrell. That's me, all on my lonesome. No Jared Stanley tonight. We tried to hang out and do something last night, but because the world has evolved past TCP/IP LAN connections, it's just not happening it's just not happening right now. But that said, I'm going to play a little bit of Baldur's Gate. Probably one of my favorite, although I would say it has aged a little bit. It is still one of my favorite games of all time, but definitely one of the games that made me the huge video game fan that I am today. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of playthrough of this and just kind of talking about this whole era of these CRPGs, as they were known. And excuse me. This combined a lot of my favorite things at the time. It came out in 1998, so I was 10. I remember playing it a little after it came out, and basically at that time I was reading all the Drizzt Do'Urden books. So Forgotten Realms, you'll see right up here, it's got Forgotten Realms there, which is pretty much all I need to see for me to want to play this game, because all those books had that at the top too. And then, not so important then, although they were still well known then, you'll see down here, developed by BioWare, now obviously like massive development studio with like Old Republic, Mass Effect, Dragon Age. You see Black Isle over here, who was I still think in the history of all games, they're one of the best RPG developers of all time, if not the best. And then interestingly enough, you actually will not see Wizards of the Coast here, but you will see TSR, which TSR was purchased by Wizards of the Coast in 1998 or 1997. This game was released in 1998, but I didn't actually realize this at the time because I didn't ever play Dungeons and Dragons until high school. But Wizards of the Coast actually kept the TSR name on all Dungeons and Dragons products for about 3 years until they released, I think, 3.5. So you'll see it attached to other games like this, the Forgotten Realms games that came out after this. So, all right, well, I'm just going to kind of go into this. Bear with me, as I have not done a lot of talking and playing games at the same time, nor have I ever really recorded a video like this. But hopefully in the future, though, Jared and I are going to be doing these kind of things together, hopefully landing some of these older PC games and, just trying to have, basically combine some of the more interesting concepts of like a gameplay demo or sort of a Let's Play, although I hate that term, and there are a lot of bad Let's Plays out there, with the more traditional gaming podcast, the kind of thing that we do normally, but, just to add a little bit more to it, because I know I love web shows and I love video podcasts, so I think this should be a lot of fun. So, yeah, I'm pretty much just going to do a little either 1 or 2 part, like 15 or 30 minute thing here. We're going to see how it goes. Whoa, look at that guy. Oh my gosh, these portraits are awesome. For one thing, they look almost like photos, but look at that. That guy's arm hair just cuts off right there, doesn't it? Oh, no, I guess this is a fur bracer, but I thought it was his arm hair, and he just like shaves up to there or something. Either way, that's a pretty good look, so, oh my god. I forgot all about these. What person looking to seriously play this game would play it with this as their character portrait? I feel like you have to be an elf, and you have to be like, although he's dressed like a ranger, you'd have to be a bard for that character to work. Ooh, there we go. The ever-defiant, the rogue, the wizard. That's a good one. That's always been one of my favorites, although I never really play sorcerers in this game, because magic users in Dungeons & Dragons in general, but especially a video game version like this, they're just so spongy. It's a lot harder. It's basically like setting your difficulty, to expert when you want to play normal. Oh, there's him. Ooh, look at that guy. Purple Jones. A lot of these are super cheesy, but at the same time, I'd love to have posters of them hanging up in my room. There you go, Minsk. I love that, too. Like, obviously, there is the ever-beloved Minsk with Boo, but you can set this as your character appearance, although you will come to interact with him in the game. Alright, we're picking that. It's got to be a 100-year-old odd job. That's who we've got to go with on this. So let's see, what would that guy be? I will say I will give it to them for in a lot of standard D&D stuff, you don't see a lot of Asian people, or you don't at least ever seen it expressly said. So it is kind of an interesting portrait and character. So I'm going to say this guy is probably, let's say he's a gnome. Let's go with that. He looks like he should be some sort of tinkerer, like a watchmaker or something. Gnomes. Kin to dwarves. Gnomes are noticeably smaller than their distant cousins. Gnomes, as they're proudly maintained, are also less rotund than dwarves. Most have dark tan or brown skin, white hair, and rather large noses. Hey, this guy's got almost all those. He fits. Alright, class. Gnomes, like a lot of the classes besides human and elf, are like super limited. This is running on, pretty sure Baldur's Gate is Dungeons and Dragons 3.0. No, it uses it's using modified Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, so that's the 2nd edition, which I've never played, but I've heard is particularly brutal. So let's see, this guy, out of these 3 things, I'm going to say this guy looks most like a thief, but kind of like a gentlemanly, wizened thief. Alignment's got to be chaotic good. It's always chaotic good for me. I know it's kind of overpicked. A lot of people pick that, but it's just the most fun to play. Alright. Oh, great. The roll. This is one of the things that a lot of games that used to use back in the day that no RPGs have now. You'd actually roll as if it would simulate the die roll, like if you were actually playing the pen and paper version. And the thing that's infuriating about this is you have to click through it, like, because you obviously don't want to just get all crappy scores. See, that's no, because I got a 9. That's the thing. It's so hard to like wait to be, and it's even worse because they give you this. So okay, we got an 18 and a 17, but all the rest are bad. There, that's pretty decent, so I'm going to store that one. So they let you store one like it's a calculator, like put one in memory, and you can just keep rolling. For the sake of the video here, I will have to put my my obsessive re-rolling nature to the side and take a look here. So what am I going to need? Dexterity? Is that for thieves? Yeah, okay. Well, that's not going to work. I'm going to see, what can I... Here, you can pull from your other ones, which is good. I want him to be charismatic. This guy looks like he would be charismatic. He also looks like he'd be wiser than that. Alright. Wisdom. There we go. We got it. The thing I love and I actually still love about this game is literally like it along with like Baldur's Gate 2, Icewind Dale, and even Neverwinter Nights, the original one, and Neverwinter Nights 2 actually, because I've recently tried that. It really gets to the core experience of Dungeons and Dragons. It lets you play. It's like you're gonna get to do every single thing, which I like. They do allow you some options just to pick automatically through. You know, like, oh well, just okay. If you just want to pick a package and go, you can do that. But you can also go through and pick every single thing in your character, just like you would if you were actually making a character for the tabletop version, which is awesome. Find traps is probably one of the most important things in this game, if I'm remembering correctly. This guy is a small swordsman, I'm going to say. He's all about the small swords, and he's all about the missile weapons. He looks like the kind of guy that would throw some darts. That doesn't really look like him at all. That looks like a dwarf, pretty much. Let's see here. He's got white hair. Skin's a little more brownish than that. Let's go for that. Pretty much every character I play, I've always played in Baldur's Gate, is rocking the black and crimson. Although I do not play evil characters, but I just think it looks the best. Well, let's check out some of these voices.
Death to you all!
Death to you all!
Your life ends here.
They're also...
Time for a bit of the rough and tumble.
Okay, this man with that voice is the greatest character
I'll lead 'em well.
in human history, so we're gonna go with that. Alright, and then the name. This is the kind of thing that would normally take me, you know, like an hour if you're going through it, because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna invest 100 hours with this guy. It's gotta be good. So let's see. So I said this guy looks kind of like a tinkerer. So let's say this guy is Tinkle. I might change that here. Tinkleberry Cromsbottom. Cromsbot. Oh, that's welcome to Faerun.
Nestled atop the cliffs that rise from the Sword Coast.
One of the things that all of these games also always did really, really well was voice acting. This is especially true in Baldur's Gate 2, which is amazing voice acting, like still far better than a lot of voice acting in video games today. But as you can see, there's not a lot in the terms of cinematics. It's a lot of reading here at the beginning. So we're going to skip. Basically, you're raised in the Citadel, Candlekeep. Yeah. That's really all that you need to know. So now I've got to try to attempt to relearn this. These controls. Let's see here. So there's my little guy. As you can see, it's from like a top-down isometric perspective, as was the pretty much RPG standard at the time. You know, there's like everything like Diablo, Fallout, all that was this way. This is actually in the Infinity engine, which BioWare had originally developed for an RTS, I guess, called Battlegrounds Infinity, that ended up turning into Baldur's Gate. So I, excuse me again, I haven't done any research, but I would love to see whatever that game is. I would love to see that, like if there's any beta footage or concept art or anything of that. Hey, come here, buddy. I want to talk to you. Hey! Hey! What the heck? This guy needs to recognize who I am. Tinkleberry Croms... What was it, Cromsbot? Yeah, Tinkleberry... I'm Cromsbot! Come here, let me talk to you. Wait a her. One of the best parts about these games, too, is trying to... Oh, Watcher. Yeah, that's my fault. Is trying to learn how to say most of the people's names. Winthrop has kept his prices as low as he could, but I expect that to change soon. It's been a week since a trading caravan has made it here. Oh, thanks. That guy looks important, but I think he's just a guard. Oh man, look at this. Got the wiggles over here. Well, now that we're about here at the 13-minute mark, I'm going to cut this one off, and we're going to start up in the second half due to annoying YouTube limits. So hopefully this one worked.